How is it going on, everybody? Welcome to the Paws Up Halftime Report. I am Jay Gibson, your host, and that was certainly one of the first halves of all time, with FIU just trailing Jacksonville State by a score of 14-7. I think this main story of the first half for the Panthers, second chances not taking advantage of. The defense has obviously done enough against one of the most high-powered offenses in Conference USA. Problem is the FIU's offense has not done a great job capitalizing on what the Panthers have given them so far. And I do say so far because I am excited to see how the offense can adjust in the second half. That's certainly been one of their biggest strong suits in these last couple of games against Middle Tennessee and Liberty. It's obviously going to be a bigger challenge today because of the opponent they're taking on, but I think this FIU team is capable of making some monster adjustments and getting back into this thing. So as I go ahead and make sure we're good on all social media platforms.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Wartime FIU marching band.
Let's talk a bit about what to expect. By the way, this is the first time this season during a halftime report that I am backlit, but that's what happens, I guess, for a 3:30 kickoff. So let's get right into it. You'd think this game would be close offensively, but if you look at the stats, Jacksonville State actually doubling up the Panthers in total yards, and that's because, Cam Cook is doing Cam Cook things. 17 carries, 93 yards, and a score. Could certainly be worse. I feel like Cam Cook so far today has not had a massive breakthrough rush that he pretty much averages in every game this season. He did have a nice 32-yarder, but Caden Creel also getting his numbers, 44 yards for him on the ground. Obviously, this rushing attack is so good, you can only do so much against them. The key for FIU was to match their tempo as far as actually getting points on the board. And while they technically haven't done that, they're not far off, only down a single score. So it certainly could be worse for FIU, all things considered. But the fact of the matter is the Panthers have not one but two back-breaking interceptions, both of which, of course, thrown by Zansky, who has had a okay first half. He hasn't had a great first half. Not a great first half, unfortunately. 7 for 17, 68 yards, no touchdowns through the air yet, and a pair of picks. The first pick, I can't, put too much blame on Joe P. He was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Just an unfortunate circumstance here. The second one, however, super crushing in the end zone on a fade route. That just a great play made by the defensive back. Of course, he had to make a SportsCenter top 10 play to snag that one in. Just, of course, the way things are going here, this first half of football. So certainly more negative takeaways in that first half than positive, but I think the biggest positive you can take away is that was, all things considered, a bad first half for FIU, but they're only down by 7 points against the top team in Conference USA. And like I mentioned at the top, this is a team that knows how to turn things around in the second half. They did it against Middle Tennessee, shut them out. They did it against Liberty, forced them to 6 points in the second half. This team, if any team can stop Jacksonville State in the third and fourth quarters, it's going to be the Panthers. So Keyshawn Owens, by the way, 42 yards and a touchdown. No real notable receiver right now, unfortunately. Dallas Payne, 24 yards off 3 receptions. Not too shabby, but this offense is unfortunately still having to try to figure things out. The defense, like I said, has given FIU opportunities. They had one goal line stand, and they almost had another following the first Pazanski interception. They were one play away on fourth down from back-to-back goal line stands, which would have been absolutely ridiculous. Sadly, it was not meant to be. And aside from that, you had a couple of silly penalties here and there. The roughing the passer penalty certainly hurts. Don't kid yourself. Jacksonville State has made some mistakes too. The missed field goal, which led to FIU's first touchdown of the game, was a big turning point of the game for FIU so far. It's the reason why it's not 14-0 right now. So, it feels like that final interception, man, it really feels like this game should be tied at the most. FIU should be down 14-10. Yeah, the defense is looking good at times. They are what's keeping FIU in this game, only being down by a touchdown. Forcing a missed field goal, forcing that first goal line stand. I feel like the game could be a lot worse. Cam Cook could maybe have over 100 yards by now if it wasn't for FIU's defense playing their guts out so far. Well, there's not a whole lot more to say because it was one of those first halves that just kind of flew by. Both teams utilizing the run so much, the clock drains quickly. And that's going to be a problem for FIU. Did I just see John Mayer? Oh, boy. What do you think of Joe P so far? A little underwhelming. I mean, you have to throw him a bit of grace because he's taking on one of the best, not really one of the best defenses in CUSA, but it's certainly up there. I think both interceptions were bad breaks, just great plays made by the defense. Aside from that, man, he really has not had much time in the pocket to make some plays happen. FIU's or Jacksonville State's front seven have been absolutely swarming Joe P at times. So, but I feel like some of Joe P's best football is usually done in the second half, especially in those last couple of games. So we'll see if he can turn it around this time around. Obviously, we all want FIU to win this to secure that 6th win and go bowling. It's not going to be the end of the world if they lose today because you'll have your next opportunity next week against Sam Houston. Certainly don't want it to come to that. I know Sam Houston's in a dogfight right now with Middle Tennessee, and Sam Houston's red hot too. You know, they beat Delaware, they beat Oregon State. Obviously, I still think FIU has the talent to come back and win this. Also, I believe Josiah Taylor got hurt as well in the second half, so we'll see if he can come back and play this game. If not, that's going to be a huge loss on defense and make things even harder. So. Got your money on FIU? I sure hope you're right, my friend, but it's going to be a tough one. That's pretty much the case, but yeah, because like I said, there's just not a whole lot to talk about. That was one of the shorter first halves of the season. It was like, what, an hour and like change as far as how long it went. So I think I'll leave it at that. Oh, here we go. They're honoring Michael Biamonte, FIU alum, public address announcer for the FIU Panthers, also the Miami Heat, who announced a few months ago he's going to call it a career for both squads. So, I spoke with him earlier. I'll put out a post soon, but great to see. Great to always meet him. He's always a class act, good friend on the show. In one of our most memorable episodes, I would say. And it's great to see him hopefully go out with a bang today. If FIU can pull this off, come back in the second half, which they've done, quite a bit this season. A lot of their wins, or a few of their wins have come from a deficit. Florida Atlantic, of course, comes to mind. So we'll see if they got one more in them today. So I think that's pretty much it. Really hoping the offense can sort of turn it around. Defense, don't really want them to change too much. I mean, only limiting Jackson to 14 points in one half play ain't too bad. So see what happens next time. I believe FIU gets the ball to start the second half. So if FIU is going to make adjustments on offense, we'll see them real quickly. Jacksonville State winning 14-7. We're getting ready to go here in the second half. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back alongside Kevin for the Paws post-game show, hopefully with some good news, of course, following the game and following media availability. So I'll leave it there. Thank you all so much for watching, and until the post-game show, Paws up.